Ugh, the state of this thing. Alright guys, looks like we got some serious machining to do tonight. Now this is the drive pulley off my hatless lathe there. When I first got this, I had to redo the motor bearings and fix the centrifugal clutch. When I was pulling this off the rotor, I thought it was coming, and like I had the gear puller on the outside, and I thought it was coming, but it was actually ripping it off. Rookie, well, it's even beyond rookie mistake, but you know, it's super thin. You know, I think the thickness of that was like less than 100 thousandths. Yeah, not even close. 75 thousandths or so. So what we're gonna do tonight, a friend from a local machine shop has donated some material to my channel, and I got a big hunk of ductile iron. Now I've already got it all faced up and cleaned up in the lathe. It was an end cut, so it was pretty ragged and rough, so it took a while to clean up. So that's already in the forge jaw. So let's head over there. So that was essentially a 30 thou pass in this stuff. It's really egg shaped. It was really, that's about as close as I could get to centering it in the chuck there. So we got another 30. Going pretty slow RPM. I don't want to, you know, I'm just keeping the high speed steel tool and try not to burn it out in one shot. So make a few passes at least would be nice. Very, very slow passes. Anytime now. Oh, would you look at those cute little cast iron chips? I am going to try to keep the dust down to a minimum. I don't want it building up on the lead screw and whatnot. It does, I guess it is kind of abrasive. I have not done a whole lot of cast iron turning. We're shooting for about 4.5 inches here. Well, exactly 4.5 inches to be more precise. 4.7. Try a 40 thou pass. We'll see. No carbide, no problem. And the chips ain't hitting the ceiling either. Alright, so I'm going to get it to within about 20 thou of its final dimensions. At some point it's going to go on an arbor. So we'll just get it closer now, because I still got to flip it in the chuck and drill a hole in it too. And we're going to do this face right off the bat. I'll get right back to you. Alright, so now the long and arduous task, I'm going to be turning a, well, you'll see. And that'll be about where the profile, everything in between these two lines, is going to get hogged out of there to about a depth of 400 thousandths. There's going to be a little bit of feature in there. It should be pretty, I guess. A little bit of a lip there. That's where we're going to start. Well, as you can see what I'm doing here, this is going to get concaved yet 400 thou from this face. So I'll get back to you once we get to the more interesting bits. This is just a lot of facing. So as you can see, I got two tools like this, left and right. And I'm going to turn it in as close to the corner. Once we hit, I got both tools set so they're both at the exact same depth as well. So there's no confusion on an indicator as to how far I got to go. So I'm going to take it down to depth and leave a little bit of smidge in the corners here. And we're going to turn a big ass radius in there. All right, guys, we got most of the bulk of the matter taken out of there. It's kind of dusty and dirty. That's an understatement, really. There's our big radius tool. That's a 3/8 tool bit, ground to about a quarter. Well, not a quarter, I guess a 3/16 radius. Anyways, how I do these, like it's gonna chatter like a bugger. I left about 25 thou to go on there, so we're gonna set our indicator up here. I'm just gonna do this to clean it up, little by little. Chatter. Yeah, lots of chatter. So I'm gonna get it closer to depth here. And we'll sort out those corners in a minute. Okay, so the absolute slowest speed my lathe will go under power, I guess. Now this is an old clapped out lathe. It's still gonna chatter no matter what you do. With a radius this big, for sure. There's really not much you can do about it. So there is a way to mitigate that and get out of that chatter, believe it or not. Get out the back gears, unplug it. Is it cheating? Yeah, maybe. When you lock your carriage in there, just give it a little bit at a time. And you can go as slow as you need to go. And don't get me wrong, it takes a while. And that is about as nice a radius this lathe will ever do. And similar fashion on this side. Well, you get the idea. This does take a while, and it's kind of dirty. So I'll get right back to you guys. Okay, so this is a little weird. I've never done this before. I actually put it in gear. So as I'm turning it, it's actually turning out. Very slowly, mind you. It should blend it in really nice. It looks like it's working really good. So, learned something new tonight. Alright, so admittedly that was incredibly painful, but we got a really nice blend on there and virtually no chatter. And that's saying something. We're going to polish that up though and try to get some of the tool marks out of there. At a little higher pace, of course. Try a little bit of 400 grit. And I also got a little Kratex stick here. See what that does. Oh, hello. It's doing something. It's a fine, very fine grit Kratex. Rubberized abrasive, or whatever you want to call it. At the very least, it'll make it shiny. There's the beginning of our pulley. Alright, so I got it all flipped around in the chuck. Just going to get a decent OD on this to actually get some measurements off of. Well, if you recall, this is pretty egg-shaped. So we're going to take it pretty slow initially. Alright, now that we got a stable dimension to work with here, I'm just going to get a reading. Look that up. And we're looking at about, well, that much. 4,667. So now that we got that established, I'm going to go ahead and mark out that 2-inch pulley, the 2-inch pulley step, or whatever you want to call it. Touch out one. Okay. Set our compound to 0. So I guess we got to move in 1 inch, 333, I guess. Should leave us with a 2-inch pulley on the inside there. I'm trying to leave it just a little bit big, so because we're not going to be we'll be cleaning it up better once it's on the arbor. Yeah, put right up to the inside of that line is about 2 inches. So we're a little bit big, that's absolutely fine, that's what we want. And we'll also want to cut this depth in half. 1 inch 230. Get that all set up over here. Half of 1 inch 230 should be 616 thousandths, so, or 15, sorry. 1, 2, 3. And that is where we will set our 0. All the way back. Well, we got our dimensions lined up. There's nothing else to do but okay, well, there's going to be a whole lot more of this. I'm going to move my phone and stuff because speakers and microphones have magnets in them, and magnets really like iron dust. So I'll get right back to you guys. Alright, well. Alright, well, our pulley's finally starting to take shape. I've been actually wearing a respirator. Everything is just covered in this freaking dust, man. It is bad. Like, this machine's really nice, but it's messy. Really messy. The machine's like butter. It's beautiful, but yeah, dusty and dirty. So, in order to protect my lungs, I've been rocking a HEPA filter respirator right now, so still got a little ways to go yet. Getting close though. Obviously, we're just roughing it out for the time being, and then we'll take it down to size. We'll get it close and then take it down to size once it's on the arbor. Okay, we're within almost 20 thou there. That's close enough, I think. There's a good to fair chance. That is the biggest pile of chips I've ever made. Wow. Yeah, that's a big pile of chips. Well, alright guys. So since this pulley, well, the pulley I'm making essentially has two different size pulleys in one, I kind of thought to myself, are both of them the same dimensions? Are they both cut at 30 degrees and whatnot? So I wasn't really sure where to go for this, so I decided to do one thing I haven't done in quite some time. And that is consult the Necronomicon. I got the 20th edition Necronomicon because it's still got the old maths. All right. Oh, gotta say the words. A-bomb. Curtis. Joe. Yeah. I said it. Hey, wait a minute. This isn't the Necronomicon. Well, then where's my Necronomicon? Ugh, problem for another time. Anyways. Alright, so I was correct in wondering about the dimensions. Like, they're not too far off as far as width and depth go. But the angles, like, I kind of thought it was just all 30-degree angle. But the 4-inch version has to be at 34-degree included angle. So I got those all written down. I'm going to have to figure out some kind of way to actually groove these in there. Given my lathe's propensity for chatter, this could be a challenge. Alright, well, there's our little stub mandrel, I guess. Call it the right thing for a change. And there's our pulley. It's a very nice little fit there. There's nothing. It feels good. All right, moment of truth. I can't visibly see, not with the naked eye anyway, I can't see any run out in there, so that looks pretty good. No shaking or weirdness going on. I think we're good, guys. Alright, so before I get too far along here, I am going to have to bring these to the correct diameters and dimensions, I guess, altogether. So it's 20 thou off both of these radii, and then another 10 thou off this face. Stop it. Well, you shouldn't stop in mid-cut, but I don't think it'll hurt it in this case. It's just a little cut. Just want to double check that we are on dimension here. And a couple thou over, I'm perfectly happy with that. Got our makeshift DRO going on down here. Once that goes around 6 times, then I'll know that I'm at my mark. to speed it up here for this part. Oh, looks like we're pretty good over here. Not taking out anything. Just a teeny tiny bit of run out in there. That's not bad at all. It's going to be a nice pulley. Alright, so I've got this little radius parting tool here. I'm not entirely certain this is going to work, so there might be some experimentation involved with this one. I'll probably end up just picking away at it over a couple of years. This is gonna take a really long time. Very slow going. Okay, so depth on this is 490 thousandths. So that's like, you know, almost 5 turns in this dial. Okay, so that's about halfway there. I'm going to run out of camera space if I keep filming this. So far, so good. Alright, so we're almost there. We're at about 400 thousandths in depth. So far, it's working out pretty good. I've been doing about 100 thou at a time, and then just gauging it on the dial indicator here. 20 thou to either side, just to widen it up a little bit for every little plunge. And we've actually been making some pretty decent chips too. So I'll try to get you guys in on this last 90 thou, and hopefully disaster doesn't strike right now. There she is. Honestly, that has never, ever gone so well. Very happy about that. Alright, well, since I'm already set up here with the parting tool and everything's all set to depth and whatnot, I already got it set up. I'm going to go ahead and put the groove on this one too. And you guys can go ahead and assume that everything is going to go perfectly. What can I say? It did go perfectly. I would honestly say those are probably the nicest little parting chips I've ever made. Alright, so I'd like to think that was the hard part, putting these grooves in here, but I'm not certain how good this is going to go. I was considering actually just using the parting tool itself to do this, since you definitely know it's got the clearance. That way I'd only have to do, you know, one side at a time. I wouldn't have to miss. Well, I'm going to give it a try actually. Okay, so I'm going to lock it in right there. I'm going to see what happens right off the bat here. Well, guys, I do think that is going to work. So I'm just going to continue with this. It actually doesn't seem like it's going to take too long. Well, you can't go very fast. I might try to speed it up. I'm a little concerned about getting the chatters inside there and then not being able to get them out afterwards. So I'm going to continue on with this. Now you know what I'm up to. There's really not much to it. Just you know, cutting a couple 34-degree included angle in this one and 30 degrees in this one. All right, well that should be about it for that side. It's actually leaving not too bad of a finish in there. It's kind of freaking me out how thin that is, but it actually thickens up as the further you go in, so it should be okay. But it should polish up pretty nice. The parting tool was a good call. Now you've seen that, this camera's really in the way, and I can't really even get you a good shot of this anyway, so I'll just finish this up and I'll try to get you in on the last pass. Alright guys, well it's coming along pretty good. I'm only doing about 20 thou passes at a time. Just because I'm trying to avoid making that skinny little tool deflect too much. You know, and then all of a sudden inadvertently dig in and cause a big, scrap apart or something. So this is close to the last pass. I'll have to do another 5 thou pass or something after this. But pretty much, this is the gist of it. Alright, so I've kind of had to flip the script here a little bit with had some clearance issues and had to resort to the old school methods, I guess. No school like the old school. But I had to adjust the tool so many times already that I've completely lost where I'm at, so I moved the tailstock out of the way. And I got about 22 thou to go, I think. Because now we're having problems cleaning up the bottom there. It's starting to chatter and vibrate and stuff, so yeah, just have to make do. Plus side, there's no deflection. I do have an old test belt here. This is a 4L belt. So we're getting pretty close. I think we could probably take a smidge more out of there. But by rights, it is supposed to be over crowning it just a little bit. That's actually not too bad. And that's mostly to account for wear, I think. That's pretty damn close. Pretty damn close. So I'm going to take it that last 2 thousandths. And this should be dead nuts. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna call that good. Alright guys, I actually took another few thou out of there. Just kept going until it looked okay to me. And that's actually pretty damn good right there. So, you know, I can't complain about that. And I actually took the parting tool and cleaned up that inside edge as well. So now there's just a bunch of polishing and sanding, and then eventually we're going to take it out of here and we're going to have to put a screw back there. Alright, so there's our pulley all cleaned up. It's possible I could have got a better finish on the outside there, but you know, it still looks pretty good. I was mostly concerned about here. And on the inside, it's really good. So no complaints there. You can see how I cleaned up the bottom faces. And that parting tool worked really, really good. So now, we got one more little feature to put on here. I gotta admit, it was a bit of an ordeal just trying not to figure out how to fixture this. But I believe we got it pretty much pegged here. So that's just gonna go on like that. I just found an old stud bolt. And I turned one end down to 3/8. I thought it was an old piece of junk stud bolt. As it turns out, it's 3/16 stainless steel. But anyways, I turned a little spot in here to give room for the drill. I also used the stud to find center too as well, so should work out nice. Alright, so we got the compound or the milling attachment set to 15 degrees, the same as this right here. So we just got enough clearance there. Put a little flat before we drill it. Okay, so I'm going to drill this out for a 1/4 tap. Got a number 7 drill bit in there. Now, I don't have a long enough spotting drill or center drill for that, so I'm just going to pick at it really easy and hope for the best. These are very sharp, brand new cleat line drill bits, so just take it really easy. Get it started. Get a point started there. Yeah, looking good. From what I can see. Alright, so I wish I had a better tap. All I got is this crappy Mastercraft one. What I did once before, intent, is I just kind of stuck it in there like that, using a tiny little bit on the center of the jaws there to get that tap going. And I'll just keep pressure on it. And very carefully get it started. Center drill a piece of stock and stick it in the Ductile would have been probably a lot better than this. Alright, we got a pretty good start on there. I think I can pull that out now and finish it up on the bench. Alright, so there's our pulley. I found some ridiculously super cute set screws today. They didn't have the normal ones, so I want to try out these little tiny square buggers. Well, see, the thread feels a little on the sloppy side, but that looks pretty cool. Now I got a confession to make. I made 2 of these pulleys. The first one I made with a 1/4 set screw, and it also kind of came out sloppy, so it could have been my technique, or it could have been just the way cast taps. Maybe I should have had better taps for this, but I've already tried this one. In fact, we just drilled this one with this one. Yes, we drilled this one with this one. But we still got to take this one out for a test drive. Let's head over there. All right. We are now in the dark nether regions, the proverbial beating heart of Lenore. Oh yeah. Smooth. We're gonna back up for this one, I think. That's super fast. Wow, that would be a lot less scary if I didn't already know the state of that counter shaft. In any case, guys, I really hope you enjoyed that build. That was the first time I really turned ductile iron. First time I made a pulley. And it's also the first time I've ran my lathe at that speed. So that's awesome. So once again, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. I'll see you next time. Peace out. That's a very nice running tool.